What is up, Raidernation? It's your boy Smorty back at it again with another pre-game preview. And on today's video, we're going to be previewing our Las Vegas Raiders versus the New Orleans Saints. Now, we are coming off of a huge victory against the Houston Texans. I know it's the Houston Texans, but a win is a win. And coming off the bye week, we all expect this team to go on a run. So let's try to continue that streak this weekend in New Orleans against the Saints because we really need it. But I do want to let you guys know, if you guys are going to go to the game this weekend or any other Raiders game this year, then I want to let you guys know about the Game Time app. If you're looking for some cheap last minute tickets for the Raider game or just any other events, then this is the app for you. Not only do they provide great prices, but when you're looking for tickets, they show you your exact view from your seat. Use my promo code SamoaRaider to get $20 off your first order of $150 or more.
And you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Now, before we do get started with this pre-game preview, I got some quick Nation news that you can use. The Raiders have released cornerback Javelin Guidry from the practice squad. In a corresponding move, the team has signed offensive tackle Sebastian Gutierrez. The Raiders have also brought back the Big Ooze, Kyle Pecco, and cornerback Bryce Cosby to the practice squad. Now, with the trade deadline quickly approaching, there has been many speculations that the Raiders are interested in both Jack Conklin from the Browns and Jabril Peppers of the New England Patriots. As good as Conklin would make this offensive line, especially at the right tackle position, I do believe that we are solid enough right now with what we got. We've spent a lot of money on the offense already, so I feel like we should focus more on the defense. And speaking of the defense, that's where Peppers comes in. Now, I know that the Raiders were interested in the offseason, but we revisit that again. Jabril Peppers does have history with the Raiders DC, Patrick Graham, and I feel like he could provide some depth in the secondary. Now, to be honest with you guys, Raider Nation, if we were to go in that direction and trade for a guy like Jabril Peppers, then I wouldn't mind trading away Jonathan Abrams. There has been reports that there are 3 teams that are interested in Abrams' services, so why not just make the most out of him right now? I don't know whether or not the Raiders will re-sign him next year, so if he's not in our future plans, I feel like the Raiders should move in a new direction. Now, Jabril Peppers isn't what he used to be, but he is basically the same type of player that we have in Jonathan Abrams. But I would say that Peppers does have a little bit more versatility. But Raider Nation, what are your thoughts? Do you guys feel like the Raiders should make a move before the trade deadline, and who would you guys give up and who would you guys go out and get? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, as for the injury report, we've got some good news. Wide receiver Devontae Adams, Mac Hollins, DJ Turner, Tashawn Bauer, Divine Diablo, and Darren Waller are all questionable and could play this week. As for the Saints, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and Marshawn Lattimore will all be out in this week's matchup, which is a real huge loss for the New Orleans Saints. So the Raiders finally find themselves back in the win column after beating the Houston Texans last week. Now they head to New Orleans to face yet again another struggling team in the Saints. This will be another matchup that should fare well for the Raiders, but as always, it's any given Sunday. Derek Carr is coming off of his best game this year with over 240 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. Josh Jacobs is also coming off of his best game this year with 143 yards and 3 touchdowns. He will yet again be the key to helping this Raiders team get the win. Defensively, the Raiders will have their work cut out for them. Even though the Saints will be without their veteran wideouts and Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry, they still have plenty of talent on the offensive side of the ball with Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, and their rookie wide receiver Chris Olave. So if the Raiders want to keep that streak going and move up in the AFC West, then we'll need to see that same effort we've seen from them in the 4th quarter of last week's game where they went on a 21-0 run. Josh McDaniels and this Raiders team will have to get off to a fast start and not look back at all. You know, Al Davis said it best.
Just win, baby.
Real quick, I did want to take a moment to give a shout out to the sponsors of this video, Woodson Bourbon Whiskey. Sam Owens, take it away. Hello, my name is Sam Owens, and I want to let you guys know about the sponsor of this video, Woodson Bourbon Whiskey. If you guys are looking for some whiskey to sip on during game days, at home, at the games, at the tailgate, then look no further than Woodson Bourbon Whiskey. Head over to woodsonwhiskey.com to find a bottle near you or have it shipped directly to your door. So, Woodson Bourbon Whiskey. If it isn't your game day whiskey, it is now. Why the hell are you still looking at the camera? Is that it? Yeah, you should be good. Get your candy ass out of there. Oh, okay.
Then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization. and you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.
Now for the matchup of the game, I got our cornerback Rock Ya-Sin versus wide receiver Chris Olave. Rock Ya-Sin has been a solid corner for the Raiders lately, especially with Nate Hobbs out, and this week, it looks like he'll have a tough task of sticking Saints rookie wide receiver Chris Olave. The Saints have already announced that both Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry will be out in this game, so look for Olave to step up as their wide receiver one. So far this year, Olave has averaged 82.5 yards per game, and in his last outing versus the Cardinals, he had 14 targets with 7 receptions for 106 yards. Lucky enough for the Raiders, they can count on Rock Ya-Sin to get the job done. Last week, only allowing 50 yards and no interceptions. Andy Dalton might not be an elite quarterback, but he's a veteran that can get the job done if he's comfortable. So it's up to Rock Ya-Sin and the rest of the secondary to make sure that this guy is uncomfortable during this game. And you'll never know, he'll probably gift our defense with a turnover. So Rock Ya-Sin versus Chris Olave is definitely going to be a matchup I'm going to keep a close eye in this game. But what are some other matchups that you guys are looking forward to in this game? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below.
I got the keys now.
Now for the 3 keys to victory, the first one being, I think it's obvious already, feed Josh Jacobs. We've been saying this for the past couple of weeks, and it's been working each and every single week. Ever since we started feeding Josh Jacobs, this team has been looking better offensively and even defensively. You've seen how well he ran against the Broncos. We won that game. He ran well against the Chiefs. We almost won that game, but the refs hold us out. And then this last weekend, we beat the Texans off of Josh Jacobs' back. Pause. Last week, he carried the ball 20 times for 143 yards and added 3 touchdowns. That's crazy. And if we could continue to feed Josh Jacobs the way he's been looking out there, I feel like we have a good chance to win this game. The Saints' run defense really hasn't been that good. They have a lot of solid players on that defensive line, but against the run, they've struggled. Running backs have averaged over 4 yards a carry against this defensive line. And last week against Eno Benjamin, they gave up 7.7 yards per carry. When Josh Jacobs is doing his thing out there and he's eating, man, it helps out the rest of this offense. And when this offense is playing good, we score points, and when we score points, we win games. Key number 2 in this game is protecting Derek Carr. Now, Derek Carr has had his ups and downs throughout the season, and he is coming off of his best game yet against the Texans with no interceptions. But we all know that when you put pressure on Derek Carr, it's going to be a long day. And knowing this Saints defensive line, even though I said they struggle against the run, they do get to the quarterback and cause pressure. And that is all led by veteran defensive end Cam Jordan. So far this season, he has 4.5 sacks and 8 tackles for loss. So he's a guy that we need to keep away from Derek Carr. So that's going to be a tough task for a guy like Thayer Munford, a rookie that has been showing out so far this year. Hopefully he could continue to do good, especially in this game. Derek Carr will mostly be out there on the field with all of his weapons. You know, Devontae Adams had an illness earlier on this week, but he came back and is cleared to play this week. We could possibly also have our star tight end Darren Waller, who's been missing a couple of games this year. Hopefully he's good to go. And Hunter Renfrow returned last week against the Texans, had 3 receptions and caught all 3 of his balls. So, you know, Derek Carr, if he's kept clean in this game, he'll make plays out there and he'll most likely find his receivers. And, you know, it'll also help if Josh Jacobs is being fed out there as well, like I said in my last key. And the third and last key to this game is defense, defense, defense. Now, I've given this defense the benefit of the doubt because when we need them to give the ball to our offense at the end of these past couple of games, they have been able to do that. But we need to see this defense go out there and start off strong. We need them to shut down this Saints offense by any means. Now, the first thing they need to do is stop the run. The Saints offense has been able to average 142 yards per game, which is huge. So this defense is going to have their work cut out for them. Then you also add star running back Alvin Kamara out there, who so far this season has 351 yards. Now, he has no touchdowns to his name, but he ain't gonna be the only player that we have to worry about in the run game because the Saints have a Swiss Army knife of a player in Taysom Hill, who has 5 rushing touchdowns this year. So this defensive line and this rush defense has got to step up. Not only that, our pass defense, who struggled last week against the Texans early on, has got to step their game up too, because we cannot give up no big plays to the Saints. Even though they don't have no Jarvis Landry out there or no Michael Thomas out there, they still got guys like Chris Olave who can make plays downfield. We also got to apply some pressure to Andy Dalton. So I'm looking at Max Crosby and Chandler Jones to get the job done. Shit, you can add Malcolm Kuntz in there as well. Andy Dalton is coming off of a tough tough game. So if we're able to apply some pressure on him, we could possibly come away with some turnovers. And in the 2 games that we've won this season, we have 2 turnovers that turned into touchdowns. So with all that being said, Raider Nation, what is your game score prediction? Who are you looking forward to watching in this game? And according to the NFL media panel, they favor the Raiders to win this 8-2. Again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. All right, Raider Nation, that's all I have for you guys today in this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. It does a lot for this channel. Also, if this is the very first time you're coming across my channel, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. Until the next video, this your boy Simone Raider and your boys. Yeah.
Started off in Oakland, now we here. Thought that we was done, we just hit another gear. Look, started off in Oakland, now we here. Hey, pull up with the nation in the silver black gear. Look, 4 games straight, we in the playoff. Shout out to the Chargers fans, y'all enjoy the layoff.